Good morning, everybody. I'm just trying to get ready for work, but I wanted to go over something. I had somebody reach out and ask if I would go over like the lymphatic system, what it does, um, especially if you're following this lifestyle. You know who Bill Knott is. He had some major side effects and has found that it was lymphatic issues. So I will go over that with you. Sorry, my watch is not behaving. All right, there we go. Now I'm ready. So, I did have to take some notes. I mean, I know the lymphatic system, but I did go over some notes because I didn't want to miss anything for you guys. So you will see me read some stuff to you guys. Um, all right. So the main thing is that our lymphatic system, it is in our body. It helps decrease inflammation. It helps with illnesses. It's part of the immune response. um, Sorry, but my hair was sticking up funny. Um, and lymphatic, if you and you can go out and look this up for yourself as to know how the lymphatic system is, because everybody knows all the blood vessels, and you've seen the little schematic of blood vessels, but lymphatic system is equally as important, and it's scattered throughout the body also. So I always like for you to go out and look to see what that looks like, because people will be like, oh, I've got some swelling right here, behind, right there, underneath here, even up in here, underneath the arms, in the groin. I've had people go, feel that knot, and I was like, that's your lymphatic system. It's a duct, and you can do warm compresses, castor oil, and things to open those up. That is called congestion when they get full. So I'll go over some of that with you guys. Um, it's a critical part of your immune system. It is essential for, like I said, helping with inflammation and illness because it helps pull those things in, like free radicals, viruses, bacteria. It gets it into the immune or into the lymphatic system, takes extra fluid. A lot of times it has electrolytes from the bloodstream in it, and then evacuates that through urine, feces, stuff like that. So, the main role for the lymphatic system is to keep fluid levels in balance. So, like your electrolyte levels, it works with protecting you from infections of bacteria, viruses, cancers, and other potential threats. Um, as I said earlier, it's very similar to like your blood vessels, and it works in correlation with your blood vessels. So, like I said, go out and see if you can find a schematic that shows like where all the lymphatic system sets, where the ducts are and stuff, and you will be like, "Oh yeah, I kind of remember that time I had a little knot here or a little there." That's exactly. It's just part of what's supposed to happen in our body. Um, so let's see. Da, 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 da. Okay. So, via the lymphatic vessels, they don't have muscle themselves. So, like in the vascular system, especially arteries, they're vascular, So, you have a pump that is, helping circulate that. With the lymphatic system, it is all by muscle contractions, breathing, certain things that you can do that help force that up. You've probably seen people that wear like those TED hose, those white hose, or brown. I think they have them in several colors. That's to help force that fluid up, especially with patients that have like congestive heart failure. So that is kind of doing the job because they may not be ambulatory, they may not be, able to get up and exercise, but just the act of doing some of the walking and the exercises for the lower legs helps. So, I'll go over some of those things too with you. So let's see. Yeah. So, the the part of that system, it recognizes harmful organisms. Our bodies are very smart. It will send out white blood cells, lymphocytes. The problem with that is if it does like an abundance of those, sometimes that plus it's clearing out all these other things get stuck in those glands and the ducts and actually causes what they call that congestion, which I think is what was happening with Bill Knott. You could see like he had some swelling up here in one of his lymph nodes that sits right there. Um, and I think if you just look at people, you'll be like, "Oh, yeah, I see that. They've got some of that swelling." Of course, you can't just walk up to them and Unless I have my nurse's badge on, and then I'm like, "Hey, just so you know, this might be something," but I usually don't do that unless they ask me. So, congestion of the lymph can be caused by chronic issues when you're under stress, when your body creates stress-fighting hormones, which result in, of course, free radical waste products being circulated, which it tries to get rid of. Chronic illnesses may also lead to lymphatic congestion throughout the body. When you are fighting like chronic inflammation, autoimmune diseases, any of that, it can help build up this congestion in the body. So um, another thing, so a lot of people are like, well, he's cleaned up his diet, and we've all been trying to clean up our diet, the way we eat, and shouldn't they not you shouldn't have these problems. Well, you are going to have those because when we, especially if you integrate fasting, any of those things, when you clean out the junk, your body's like, oh, hey, I'm going to go ahead and start cleaning. That's how we survive. So it will start to do that, and it'll break down those fat cells that held on to a lot of these toxins, and then you kind of overload that lymphatic system. um, so there are several things that you can do to help with that, and I will go over that. Let's see. We'll go past that. Some of the things that make it worse, of course, is if you're not drinking enough water, if you're not getting enough physical activity, this will cause the lymphatic system to slow down because, as I said, it takes muscle contraction, breathing, certain things to help get those moving. So, dehydration, very big in causing lymphatic congestion. Nutrient deficiency. So this is something I want to hit on because I've had so many people kind of come at me, which that's fine, I don't care, about being a carnivore and that I still take magnesium. I still do an iodine. I do K2D3. Well, yeah, I do because especially with as much fasting and as much of the fat that I have worked through, you're going to have deficiencies in those. If you don't, great, good for you. You're a superhuman because 90% of us, I have seen the labs, are deficient in those things. So I personally choose to go ahead and I do supplement those things because those deficiencies that I just named, which is iodine and magnesium, two of the biggest ones, that if you are deficient in those, your lymphatic system is not going to work as it's supposed to. So can take that here or there. I just suggest that you look into it. Um, Lymphatic congestion can affect the entire body. Like I said, you have a big cluster of these, ducts in these areas, chest even. So some of the things that you may see with these, like to know, like, hey, do I have this? First of all, sometimes you can see them. Now, you may not be able to see them, but you can press in these areas and feel. And you'll be like, oh, yeah, that's a little tender. That's kind of a clue that there might be something going on. There's massages that you can do. So, fatigue, stiffness in those areas where those are collected, neck stiffness up underneath your armpits, your groin area, stuff like that. Muscle and joint pain, bloating, holding on to water, breast swelling during your cycle, especially, which how many of us had that back in the day? Yeah. Itchy, dry skin, brain fog, headaches, weight gain, swollen glands, cold hands and feet, chronic sinusitis, cold, sore throats, ear issues, skin problems, cellulite, muscle pain, and numbness. Um, so these are just several things that you could be like, hey, and it may not be, but it's going to be deductive reasoning. You need to go through and see some of the things that you're doing um, to see if it could be that. I mean, it's so simple and it's something you can take care of. You don't have to go see a physician or nurse practitioner or anybody. These are things that you can do at home and you're not going to hurt yourself by doing them. So, things that you can do, one of the things is castor oil packs, which I'm going to do a whole nother video on castor oil probably next week. On this coming up Monday, on Meaty Mondays, the Fierce Felines, we are going to go over some holistic wellness. And I think I'm going to bring out some of the stuff that I make with my castor oil, some of the other stuff because as you can see, I can cold pack, lots of supplies. These are things that my husband eats, vegetables, because I do not. But we're going to go over that. But like I said, castor oil packs is extremely important for this. If you're able to, if you have a bathtub and you can do Epsom salt baths, Epsom salt soaks for your feet are also going to help. So those are some of the things that you can do. 100% your immune system depends on how well your lymphatic system is working. Because, like I said, it's protecting you from increased inflammation and illnesses that are out there. If it is congested, it makes you more prone to diseases and infections. Keeping your lymphatic flow smooth and free from lymphatic congestion is crucial. Let's see. So, some of the things that you can do, and I'll show you a picture because right now I don't know how to pull up a picture on here. So, as a lot of you don't know, I was using just my iPhone to do my videos, and I did just get a laptop, first one I've had in like 19 years. So, um, I'm I'm gonna have to bug G and Rebecca and some people like that to be like, okay, how do I do picture in picture? How do I pull up these things? So I'm doing it the old-fashioned way. It's gonna show you a picture, and it'll probably be backwards, but you can go out and pull all of this stuff off of the internet. Some of the things that you can do to help clear congested lymphatic, if you think you have these, none of these are going to hurt you if you don't. Doesn't matter. So it's not going to hurt you. It's not like a pill that has a side effect that you have to take another pill to cover that side effect. These are things that you can do naturally. So some of those are going to be including exercising, rebounding, deep breathing. I don't have the money to do an infrared sauna, but if you do, that would be great. Healing baths, kind of like I said, with the Epsom salts, things like that. Alternate showers. And what they're talking about there is doing a normal warm shower and at the end, turn that cold water on just for like 15 seconds of that shower. That is amazing for boosting your immunity. It is very good. Optimal hydration. There is massage therapy. You can get a hold of a massage therapist, and most of them have been trained in lymphatic drainage massage. I actually did that when I was pregnant with my daughter. So, and then there are several herbal remedies, which I'm not going to go into right now. If you have questions about those, I will. So this is just a little picture. And like I said, I'm sure it's backwards, but as you can see, look at where all that lymphatic is. I mean, it's everywhere. Um, and like I said, it talks about deep breathing, optimal hydration, exercising, rebounding. And when we say exercising, that doesn't mean like, say you're somebody who's extremely still overweight or deconditioned. That doesn't mean you have to do sprints. Now, ultimately, someday, maybe so, because sprinting is really good for you, even just short bursts. But it could be just, and this is what I tell my patients who have congestive heart failure and have that swelling and the lymphatic issues, is even if you sit up on the couch and you have your feet on an ottoman, just doing this with your feet back and forth, like that contracts that calf muscle, which helps bring that fluid back up. If you don't have a rebounder, which I do, I love my rebounder, um, just going up on your toes and back down to your heels, doing that several times, just causing that drop is something that you can do if you don't have a lot of these devices, which not everybody does have that stuff. Another thing is dry brushing. Now, I did try that a few years ago. I just don't think I was very good at it. I didn't feel like it did anything. They also were like, this will help get rid of cellulite. I don't really have much of that, and I don't care that it's there anyway. So if you are bothered by it and you want to help, I do think it probably helps, but I didn't put a lot of time and energy into that. Um, and then the healing baths is like your magnesium salts, your Epsom salts. The alternating cold hot showers start with hot, end in cold, and massage therapy. And if you can afford it, the sauna therapy and I think the red light would be good for that. But I'm very frugal. She told me not to say that I'm cheap, although I am cheap also. But I like to do things that you can do for yourself that you don't have to spend money to go out and do those items. So if you already have a rebounder, go for it. If you have a treadmill and you can do sprints, I think that's very good for that. Even just the act of walking helps with those things. So, when I first started this in 1991, um, I couldn't even walk to my mailbox and back in one, action. It was a stop, come so far, stop, come so far. Um, so you have to just start wherever you are. But I do think that it's very important for you to work on the lymphatic system. I think with what we are around in our environment, we have lots of things that are bombarding the immune system. And these are just natural things that you can do yourself. And it's very cheap. I think Epsom salts. I mean, I've got so many bags of Epsom salt. I can't even, and every kind of make, like, here's one. This is just the Walmart brand, which I do not like Walmart, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. I don't even know how much of that salt I have. At least 5 of those bags. So, and I do have a bathtub, so I'm pretty fortunate. I have one of those old antique clawfoot bathtubs that if I ever have a tornado, that's where I'm going. So, neither here nor there. That has nothing to do with this. So, anyway, that's what I wanted to go over with today. And I want to thank one of our viewers who asked for me to go over this. We had discussed some stuff the other day about, seeing Bill Knott's video and his lymphatic issues. And I think a lot of people have that. And like I said, it's so easy. Just go out there, look and see where your lymphatic system are, where those duct works are. They look like little teeny grapes, and feel those areas, massage. You can use heat, you can use castor oil to those areas. Castor oil is very penetrating, helps get in those areas and helps detox the body. So, as I said, I will go over castor oil in great length. Probably next week, I will do a video on that one, and I have some other ones that I've been typing up over the last few days that I'm going to go over that I think are pretty interesting things. And any of you, if you're interested, the new study is out, lean mass hyper responders, talking about this LDL that gets higher in people who have been eating very low carb, have lost a lot of their weight, and have gotten down to like a normal BMI, or even on the low side of the BMI, how their LDL goes up. There is a study that has come out, and it's based on several years of these other studies that were out there, but that part was always being ignored. Surprise. But I do have that. I have a link that if you want to see that, I can send that to you, where you can actually read through the entire thing. It's pretty interesting, um, that information was already out there, which a lot of you guys, that will not surprise you, as we have seen. When there's money to be made off of your sickness, there's really no reason for you to get well, for our medical industry complex. So, anyway, I'll let you guys go. I'm going to finish up getting ready and try to get my hair to do something. It was windy this morning, so I was like not leaving it down. So, I will see you guys later. I appreciate you all. If you have anything you want me to go over, I'll give you a hint. I'm going to go over some black seed oil, castor oil. I don't remember. Oh, and then this Sunday, Carnivore Hunters and myself, we are going to do a live on cholesterol and statins. And I think it's going to have a lot of great information. We have several links that, if you want to go out and see these studies, and these studies have been out there. We link those. He's going to put those in the video so that you can click on them yourself and go read it for yourself. Of course, I will put in my stuff. He's going to put in his. His brother doesn't really have a lot of issues. Didn't have to ever go on statins, thankfully. But Rick, the older brother, he did have years of being on that and another medication that the two together are very dangerous. So, um, I think it's going to be 6 p.m. Central Standard Time and their Mountain Time. But I think that would be a good one to watch this Sunday on the 21st. And then it'll be, live stream to both of our channels, I believe. If not, I'll go out and put it in there later, but you can watch it at a later time. So please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And like I said, if there's anything that you want to go over and you want it to be private, my email is in my description on my channel. You can send me anything, and I will always get back to you within 24 hours. I don't think I've ever missed anybody's questions, information, doesn't matter, whatever it is. I will go over that with you. And not to throw shade on anybody that charges for their stuff that they do. I just do not. Maybe someday I will if this medical field implodes, which I'm kind of hoping it does, and rebuilds. So we'll see. But as I don't do any of that for right now. So anyway, you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm going to finish getting ready. I think it's a balmy, oh, let's see, 18 degrees. That's great because we were 17 below on Sunday. So that's a good thing. All right. I am going to let you guys go. And as I always say, meet, heat, eat, and repeat.